Okay, so if you guys would just introduce yourselves and tell us your dog and her age.
Okay, hi, I'm Peggy Eads, and this is my husband, Jim Eads, and we have a 3-year-old rescue dog named Dorie. She's a lab mix, and she's pretty reactive.
Okay, perfect. So that leads into my next question. Good segue. What made you originally decide that you wanted to seek some training help for Dorie?
Well, she seemed, we just recently moved, and so she's in a new environment, and she was barking at every little noise that was made, and it just got to be overwhelming and annoying, and we were afraid the neighbors were going to really get upset with us too, so we had to do something about it.
She was also afraid to stay by herself in the new environment that she was in. And so that was really hard on us, because one of us had to be with her all the time. So that's another reason why. She's always been a reactive dog, but until we moved, we didn't have the problems with Dorie that we saw after we moved.
Okay, I gotcha. And if I was your new environment was quite different than the old environment she grew up in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if I remember correctly, you guys went from like a home, where you weren't sharing walls, to a nice condo where you have people, above and below, right?
Yes.
So when you step outside, she might see somebody like in an elevator or something, and it would surprise her.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was a totally new environment for her, and she, like I said, she's reactive, and she overreacted in this case, and was not a happy dog, and because of that, we weren't happy dog parents.
Fair enough. When you say reactive, just to clarify for anyone who might not know, what does that look like? Is it mainly barking?
Yes, it means barking at noises that she hears. Even now, sometimes inside the condo, she will bark at a noise that she hears from outside. And she startles very easily. If we're out on a walk and another person comes toward us, or another dog comes toward us, she will react to that. She'll bark, or maybe she will lunge and stuff like that.
Okay.
Since with the training, she's not doing that nearly as much. She's much better.
Wonderful. That's a perfect. So my next question was going to be, how did we improve it over the time that we worked together?
Well, a couple of things. She's right here next to me. That's why I keep looking down. She's wanting to play. But a couple of things is her walking habits have gotten so much better. Instead of trying to drag us around, she now will walk in a heel position. That really helped a lot.
Yeah.
And the positive reinforcement with the treats really helped that a lot. So her walking habits, she doesn't pay as much attention to people when we're walking anymore. Once in a while, if someone else is walking a dog and it gets really close to us, she might bark at it, but she doesn't lunge at them like she used to. So she just kind of lets them know I'm here, but she doesn't try to go after them.
Yeah, and I'll add that the training has given us tools to use when we're in a situation, such as when our kids and grandkids come over, and she gets way overexcited because they're here. She's happy that they're here, and we need for her to calm down. Then I feel like we have tools to use, such as the mat game that we do. She loves that. She knows she's going to get treats. Or, just as you suggested, us putting her cage back up, which we had taken down when we moved here, and letting her know that she has a safe space to go to, and a frozen Kong if that, if she needs something extra to kind of keep her busy. So I feel like because of the training, we have a lot of tools to use, and a lot of things to do when a situation arises like that.
Perfect. That is the goal, is that you then feel like you're empowered to problem solve,
Yes.
even without my immediate support. You kind of know what to do and recognize the situation and how to, get her back or calm her down or whatever needs to happen. I remember seeing you again back in your neighborhood, and like at the beginning, I feel like if she saw a dog quite a distance, I mean, I don't know, I would say at least across the street, if not, farther, she would get kind of worried. But then it was almost like we could be like 10 feet away and she wasn't barking anymore.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
is that still kind of what you're experiencing now? Her distance has decreased significantly where she can be
Yes.
closer without blowing up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll say, when we first moved here, you helped Jim and me immensely too, as well as Dorie, because I would dread walking Dorie because I knew it was like an obstacle course going out on the sidewalk. Who are we going to run into? What dogs or people? And how is Dorie going to react? Whereas now I look forward to it. I know that I can handle, and that Dorie's more confident and that I'm more confident in handling those kind of situations.
That's wonderful. Yay. So awesome.
Yay.
And
Okay.
we were afraid to leave the house to go anywhere for so long because we have medication, but it would make her sleepy and go to sleep. And we hated giving her that medication because we just didn't like doing that to her. Now she's at a point where we don't have to give her anything. She goes in to our room with the door closed.
Into her cage
with the cage door open. But she goes in there and she's just fine. She doesn't bark while we're gone because we have the camera that we can watch and check on her quite often. She's usually just laying there calm and sleeping.
Wonderful. I'm so glad. And that was part of your story as well, that was maybe a little different than some, but also really important, is that we were able to kind of have a team effort with your veterinarian, who was happy to kind of get my report and work with us a little bit on ways to help her get to a point where she could be in a learning state of mind, get things calmed back down to a level so we can start changing the behavior and then move on.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That was really great too. Okay, so the last question I have for you is, what would you tell someone who's considering hiring Gold Star Puppy Academy?
I would tell them that it's well worth the money that you're going to spend. You're going to have, if you go through the program and work and do the exercises that Gerry-Anna suggests, you will see a difference in your dog. You will see improvement with your dog. And for Jim and me, it's just been a game changer because we were excited to be in our new place in a new area, but we couldn't enjoy ourselves because of Dorie. She wasn't happy. It's made a world of difference in our lives, I have to say. It's made a huge difference. I also want to say too that I with me working 10-hour days, Jim's retired, but with me still working, the combination of virtual meetings and in-person meetings was great because it gave us a lot of options as far as, attending those meetings. And also with the virtual meetings, you sometimes there are other of your clients in the meeting, and you get to exchange ideas and hear about how somebody else is doing, and that helped us too.
Yeah, it's nice to know you're not alone sometimes.
Yes,
with some of this stuff.
Absolutely.
I would tell folks, do it as much for yourself as you do it for your dog.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. Thank you. It's about that relationship, and that's why I think working with you guys was so great too, is you really cared about repairing that, because you don't want to feel scared or frustrated or upset, about your dog, and neither do they. So getting that back to where seeing the connection between you guys and Dorie is just amazing, because she just looks to you for information now, like all the time.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. So, okay, well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this little interview. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.